He's Billy Sheehan, and this is Richie Kotzon's guitar, but I'm not Richie. It's beautiful though. It's great.
It's really nice. Richie was kind enough to send one over to me.
Great action.
Yeah, very nice. And I wrote a lot of stuff on Telecaster in my early days. I have one that I put together from spare parts.
Nice.
And I finally have a real.
Oh, yeah, I see that right there. That's a nice one, actually.
Yeah, it was a $30 bag of parts, and I bought a body and stuck it on there. It was cool.
Nice. Well, what do you want to say about the project that we're doing?
Well, it's when I first heard John, he did a song called Tidal Wave. We played a little songwriters thing here in Nashville. We had a wonderful night, but this song just stuck in my head. I said, man, that's a great song. Reminded me a little bit of the Outlaws, in a way. It was not really Southern rock, but it just had a kind of thing to it. It was just like a great song. And so I said, you got any other songs? So four came, another four, another 8, another 10. But surprisingly, they were all just so together, and I was just taken with the craftsmanship of the songwriting. And most of the songs are love songs.
Yeah.
About, what happens between a man and a woman.
As we do.
That these things happen. And I just took a liking to them. So it's different than a lot of things that I actually do. It's not like a heavy thing or a prog thing or a fast-paced rock thing. But the biggest song I ever played on was "To Be With You." It was number one, and that's not a heavy metal thing either.
Great.
So, thanks. But I love all kinds of music, and I think if you just stick with one kind of thing all the time, you're putting blinders on. So I listen to a lot of classical music. I listen to Sinatra. I listen to Bulgarian folk music.
Right.
These harmony voices that are unbelievable.
Wow.
And all kinds of stuff. Chinese music. I got a huge collection of that. There's a lot of Indian music too.
Yeah.
I got into that a lot. So I'd like to get into some other area. And John was kind enough to come down and agree to work with me a little bit on just fine-tuning songs like you do with every song.
Yeah.
That's what we've been doing the last 2 days.
Yeah, we've been really putting these songs under a microscope. I mean, they already were good, had a lot of potential. But let me tell you, besides being an awesome bass player, Billy has a real ear for very subtle things that make a song work, make a good song great. And that was super, super helpful. Some real significant help there.
Yeah, because when I'm working, it's his song, so there's a degree of diplomacy you have to use, and but it's not hard because it's already good, and I just a lot of times I'll leave it up to him as to whether or not we adapt that one little change. But it's funny how just a little bit of the rhythm of the words you're saying and how they fall in, it gets somebody outside of you.
Yeah,
to take a look at that in brand new way. Some things didn't, they can make them work, but they don't really work. But it still sounds good. But what if you do really make it work, and then it sounds even better?
Right, and you were very deft in how you put forth those ideas, and they just turned out to be, in most cases, really, really special.
Yeah. We, like I said, there's great songs to start with. So you have something that's really in trouble, and you start there. It's a long climb up that mountain.
How do we polish this? Thankfully, it wasn't that.
But fortunately, we had a lot of great stuff to work with, so it wasn't difficult to move some things around. We got stumped a few times, you always do. And when you're songwriting, you'll come up, you got a thing you got to say, and here's the space you got to say it in, and here's the words you got to rhyme it with. And you got nothing, but just stick with it. And I find it almost every time, I'm sure you have too.
Yeah.
Almost every time it's in there. It's
Right.
some way, somehow you find it.
The perfect words fit in there perfectly. You just have to find them.
Yep. They're out there somewhere.
Yeah. And I think it's easier when you're bouncing it off of another person.
I agree.
Some of these I just wrote just by myself, and bringing them here to you to really we fine-tuned them, really came up with ideas that I just probably wouldn't have come up with on my own.
Cool.
You've probably had that experience too.
Yeah, I like writing with other people. I've written alone a lot, but when I write with someone else, it always seems to lock in better.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
with more than two people, it starts to get crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's just eventually you get a gray canvas. See, the colors get mixed so much, and eventually it just turns into a.
Or two people in the room, because sometimes, like with some of these, I wrote them with someone else.
Yeah.
And now there's two of us in the room, but there's, you know, more than just the two that are writing. But yeah, I really like the work we did a lot.
I'm glad.
And this, I think this album is going to be something really special.
Great.
I
agree.
Appeal to a lot of people.
Cool.
And he's going to help produce it, if not produce it. You know.
Well, what I want to do, when I heard John and his songs and his voice and his playing, I've done it a couple other times with other artists where just, you know, I'm not necessarily looking for anything for me, but I would like to really see them do great and do better.
Thank you.
And so that's my goal here in a lot of ways.
Sweet. And you're more than fulfilling that. So I really appreciate it.
Cool. My pleasure.
Awesome, brother.
Right on.
Cool. Bye for now.